Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brandi. On this channel I do a lot of furniture flips and thrift store finds, but if you saw or have seen the last two videos that I posted on my channel, you might know that I was recently diagnosed with lymphoma, which is a type of blood cancer. And so part of my journey that I've been going on now that I've been diagnosed is that I decided to exercise my ability to freeze my eggs before I start chemo, so that, you know, if it were the case that my chemo treatment would cause me to lose all of my eggs, I would still have eggs to, you know, be able to have children in the future, children with my own DNA. Obviously, other people, or, you know, if it doesn't work out for me, I can choose to do like a situation where you use someone else's eggs and you fertilize it with the sperm of your choosing and then carry that child to term. But right now I am going through the process of IVF. I talked about the IVF process a bit in my last video that I posted about cancer related stuff. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it on the end screen, maybe up here and in the description box. So today is, what is today? Today is January 16th. And I am having my egg retrieval tomorrow. So the lighting is a bit weird right now because I'm using a light to film this video. I usually use natural light, but it's the night before my egg retrieval, and I am, you know, getting myself together, trying to figure out what I'm gonna pack for the egg retrieval date. We do have to drive about a half an hour up in order to get to the clinic where, in the hospital where I'm going to have my egg retrieval. So I'm just gonna show you really quick what I'm taking in my bag to the hospital with me. I will do a little bit of vlogging, just as much as I remember to do and I'm as allowed to do tomorrow on the day of. But let's just go ahead and jump in it with the bag. So this is the bag I'm using to take to the hospital. This bag I've had for years now was given to me by my fiance's mom. She gave it to me when we had only been dating for like a couple years, maybe like a year or two. She went to visit family in Mexico, and then when she came back from vacation and visiting family, she had brought this bag back to me. It's like a messenger bag. It has like a long strap that I just tied to like the length that I like it, and then it just has a little tie front here for the closure. So I really love this bag. I've used it ever since she's given it to me. I have used it. I used it through college. I used it as beach bag. You know, I've used it for lots of purposes. So now I'm going to continue to use it. The first thing that I have in this bag is this pouch, which one of my friends made for me, and she sent to me in a care package after I told her about my diagnosis. It is a pouch that has a cover. So there's like a pouch and then the cover. So this is the cover that she made, that she sewed herself. Her and her mom, I think she said, sewed this for me. And this pouch is filled with rice, which I know probably sounds weird, but if you're a girl, a woman, or a person who has periods or menstrual cycle, you might know the purpose of this. So with this, when you're having period cramps, you can warm this up in the microwave and then put it on the place where you're cramping, like your lower belly, your back, whatnot, and it helps relieve the pain. It's like a reusable heating pad, basically. So I'm gonna be taking this with me in my bag because my nurse did tell me that some people experience bloating and pain, like more bloating than you're already experiencing, and some pain, and so she said, you know, it might be a good idea to bring like a heating pad, a heating blanket, something like that. So I don't have anything that's like self-heating, like you can't plug it in or something like that, but I have a microwavable heating pad. So I'm gonna see if they can like put it in the area where they like keep the warm blankets, or like if someone can warm it up for me, and then I can use this for the heating pad. And then let's set this to the side here. Then the other thing that I'm gonna use is something that my sister-in-law was nice enough to send to me, and it is a nice warm blanket. As you can see, it's like velvety, and then on the inside it has like Sherpa, which I love Sherpa. If you've seen a couple videos ago, I was wearing a Sherpa hat, a bucket hat that was made from Sherpa material. So I'm going to be using this after the procedure. When I get into the car to drive back home, it's another half hour to get back home. So I'm going to use this to keep me warm, snuggle up with, and probably take a nap in the car. And then last but not least, because my appointment and my procedure is going to be in the morning, I have to be at the hospital at 8 a.m. By the time I get out, like an hour to an hour and a half later, it's going to be the middle of the day. I do live in Southern California, so I'm going to take a dark pair of sunglasses with me. These are actually my fiance's sunglasses that he doesn't wear anymore, but they're super dark. Like just looking through them, I can barely see the screen of my camera. So I'm going to be using these just to, like, you know, help me if I need to take a nap, or if I'm feeling tired and I still want to sleep a while. I'll use these to cover my eyes while we're in the car. You could always just take like a sleep mask. I have a sleep mask. It's actually kind of worn down. I kind of need to get a new one. But I have these sunglasses, so I just figured I'll throw these in the bag. They're super easy to just throw in the bag. So that's everything that I'm taking in my bag. I'm just gonna wear like a sweatsuit set. It's not a matching set, but it's like coordinated set. Some fuzzy socks, some tennis shoes that are like easy to slide on and off, and that's it. Like I said, I might do a little bit of vlogging tomorrow in the morning on the way to the hospital, and then maybe like the day after, depending on how I feel the day after the procedure, I might come back on and say a couple things about my experience. So that's that. I'll talk to you guys later. See you in the future. Hello, it's Brandi. I'm back. This is post-operation Brandi. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the procedure, how it went, what to expect, all that kind of stuff. I didn't end up vlogging on the way to the hospital, or like at the hospital or anything, because I actually ended up calling my parents to talk to them about everything that was going on. Let's talk about waking up that morning. So I woke up that morning. I already had my bag packed from the night before. You saw me packing that bag in the previous clip. So, you know, it was fine. Got in the car, got prepared. We did hit a little bit of traffic. We were able to get there just like, you know, on time, the time we were supposed to be there. I had to be there an hour earlier than when my surgery was scheduled. So they took me back to the back, you know, and they just asked me some general questions about like my history, my medical history, my surgical history, whatnot. They had me change out of my clothes into like a gown and everything like that. The doctor came and talked to me about, you know, what to expect with the surgery, that they would, you know, do everything as safely as possible. They wouldn't take any risks with like my health and stuff like that. So that was fine. The anesthesiologist came and talked to me after the doctor left and just told me, you know, that, well, first she asked me if I had any history of allergic reactions, or any like, or if I had any family like that had history with having reactions to anesthesia, which I don't. So, you know, we had that conversation. She told me the risks of anesthesia, that, you know, every anesthesiologist is required to tell you. I signed a waiver saying that I agreed to have anesthesia. And then at that point, I was pretty much ready to be taken back into the OR. I said goodbye to my fiance. He went to the waiting room. This clinic, this hospital is really nice. They actually had offered him coffee from their office. So he got some coffee while he was waiting. And so I went into the surgical room. They put me on the table. So the table is just like your standard table, except for it does have like the place to put your feet. Like if you go to an OBGYN, you know, like, you know, the little holster things that you put your feet in. Except these were a little more, how do you want to call them? Like extensive, extreme. They're like in the shape of, like if you've ever like broken your foot or a toe or something like that, and you've had a booty, or you've seen someone that has had like a boot like that on one of their feet or their legs or whatever, it's kind of shaped like that, but it's like in the position of like you're laying down and your legs are up. And then they like, it has straps so they can strap you in. So it basically just supports your feet and your leg like up to your calf. So that's how it looks. They're gonna strap you in. They also strapped in my arm, the arm that they put the IV in for like, you know, fluids and also the anesthesia. So they strapped one arm in. I don't remember if they strapped the other arm in. I know I had another arm rest on the other side, but I don't exactly remember if they strapped me in with that one or not. They didn't actually strap my legs in until after I had already fallen asleep. I don't know if that's standard procedure or if I just fell asleep really quickly, because honestly, after they gave me the IV, they talked to me for like a minute, literally. It wasn't very long. I fell asleep super quickly. So that was that. When I woke up next, I was in the recovery room. My fiance was there. They had already told him how many eggs they were able to get. So the doctor went and talked to him after I came out of surgery. And then, you know, he came back to see me and they woke me up, and, you know, the nurse was asking me how I was feeling, how I was doing. I was feeling groggy, obviously, from the anesthesia. I did have some pain on my right side of my abdomen, like lower abdomen area, and I told her that. And then she explained to me that during the surgery or the procedure, the doctor needed to go through my abdomen in order to reach some of the eggs on my right side, because there was like a vein that was like in the way when they were looking at it through the standard procedure, which is like transvaginally. So in order to do it, to retrieve the eggs safely, they went through my abdomen instead of through the typical means to retrieve the eggs. I guess it's just another way that they can do it, but they will only do it if like the typical way is like not accessible or safe in that moment. So that's what they did on my right side. I have a little band-aid on the right side. It's not like a big bandage or anything like that, but it was sore and achy on that side. So she did give me some Tylenol. I was allowed to take Tylenol, not any ibuprofen and not any aspirin. I asked for something to eat just because I wasn't allowed to eat for 8 hours prior to the surgery. They gave me some goldfish, which was really nice, and some water. And then I was able to get up, stand up on my own, walk to the bathroom, change and whatnot. And then my fiance went and got the car, and I was rolled out of the hospital and we were on our way home. So on our way home, I was still hungry. I didn't really want to eat like the whole bag of goldfish because this is like a standard bag. It wasn't like those little mini ones. So I didn't want to eat the whole bag of goldfish. I wanted like actual food. So we decided to stop and get some bagel sandwiches. So I got a bagel sandwich. Well, Will got a bagel sandwich. I got like a bagel with cream cheese, just, you know, plain cream cheese, and I ate that. And then we got back in the car and we were driving home at that point. And at this point, I was actually really grateful that I took those dark sunglasses that I took with me that I talked about earlier in the video, because you know, I was just able to lay back and rest and not have the bright sun, you know, going into my face, because by the time that we left the hospital, it was around 11 a.m. And of course, as I mentioned, my surgery or procedure started at 9 a.m. So, you know, the sun was out bright, high in the sky, and I was able to take a nap on the drive home, which it took us about like 25 to 30 minutes to get home from where the hospital is. So that was nice. I took a nap on the way home. I think he made a couple more stops while like on our way home, so it took a little longer than usual, but I got a good nap in. I honestly hardly remember any of that. We got inside, we got home, we got inside, and I was really sore at this point. I think that the Tylenol that I was given was starting to wear off, or it just, you know, from me moving around, it was just more sore. And so, you know, my fiance set me up on the couch and I laid down on the couch for hours. You know, we just watched some Netflix. We watched like a comedy. We really liked the comedy show, Ken's Convenience on Netflix. So we were watching that. It was really hard for me to sit up or turn to one side or the other because of the pain that is in my abdomen. So that was really difficult. Anytime I needed to use the bathroom, I had to have help to get to the bathroom. Anytime I wanted to sit up or turn to the side or do anything really, I had to have help. I did eventually, you know, take more Tylenol once, you know, the typical time passed. And I continually went in and out of sleep for the whole afternoon. Like basically I got home around 11:30 noon and I was in and out of sleep that entire time. I actually went to bed that night in my actual bed in my bedroom around 9 o'clock, 9:30. Will helped me get up, use the bathroom, brush my teeth, ready for bed, and we went to the actual bed, and I fell asleep around probably 10 o'clock or so. So that was the day. I definitely did underestimate how much pain I would be in following the procedure. I didn't think that it would be, I thought it would be comparable to the biopsy that I had back in November, where, you know, it was a similar, in my mind, it was a similar sort of procedure just because of, you know, the mode in which the surgeons were collecting the biopsy and the eggs. I thought the procedures would be kind of similar, and they were. It's just that because of the procedure needed to go through my abdomen, it was just hard for me to do things on my own without needing help. So that was a little bit of a challenge for me, but it wasn't the end of the world. Today is day 2. This is the day after my procedure. So today I have been still sore, but a lot less. I've been taking Tylenol. I've only taken it once this morning. I probably could take it again if I wanted to, but I'm just feeling like, you know, I guess more so what I expected, just a little bit of soreness, a little bit of, you know, I'm a little bit slower walking around than I usually am, but I can pretty much do anything that I would usually do. Of course, I'm not like lifting anything heavy or doing anything strenuous. I'm just, you know, walking around the house, tidying up a little bit, putting laundry away, stuff like that. So that's what I was hoping to be able to do today and the rest of the week as I prepare myself to start my chemo treatment on this coming Monday. So hopefully by tomorrow I'll feel 100% or at least 90% of the way, all the way better, and I can start actually cleaning my house a bit more, like deep cleaning the kitchen and the bathroom and mopping and all that kind of stuff, because I definitely want to try to get that done before I start chemo, and I have to try to keep everything clean so I don't, like, you know, get sick or anything like that. So yeah, that was my experience with the IVF egg retrieval. If you have any questions about the IVF egg retrieval, there are tons of videos out there, like on YouTube on this platform. It's just that I wasn't able to find many that were like IVF, people going through IVF because of cancer diagnoses. So I just wanted to put my experience out here. I feel really like, I still feel really happy about my decision to do this prior to starting my treatment. I feel really content with the outcome of the procedure. And now it's just, you know, because I was just doing this as like, you know, a safety net before I start my treatment. Now I feel ready to like start my treatment. I feel ready to, you know, prepare myself, get ready for the treatment that's coming. So yeah, I feel really good, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.